All right, so today's message, nothing catches God by surprise. Life may catch us by surprise, but nothing catches God by surprise. John 16 and 33. I have told you these things so that in me, meaning God, you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but take courage. I have overcome the world. John 14 and 27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives you. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Do not be afraid. So what is God saying in this? No matter what happens, again, as I said, nothing catches God by surprise. Even though there's things in life that, sometimes life just hits you with things and catches you by surprise. Sometimes we don't know what to do, or sometimes we react in a way or anything that, is not peaceful. But God can give us that peace through that. That's why he said, don't be anxious for nothing, but all we got to do is just, worry about today, because like he said, tomorrow will worry about itself. So all you got to do is do what you can today, and God to do the rest supernaturally. So don't worry about that, because when we get so focused on and so worried, we can't even really enjoy the day. That's why I said, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. John 15:18. If the world hates you, understand that it hated me first. And this is also what I was just talking about. Whatever comes to you in life. Romans 8:37. Now all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. So through that we are more than conquerors. We know that with God all things are possible, and which God has given us strength to deal with things. And that's why I say always give thanks. That's why it says we can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. I also, got a chance to see, what happened with, I guess, some more cops that got killed in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And, we're looking at where we're trying to go. And I've seen a lot of posts that were positive, as far as like other videos of, cops doing things. I've seen videos of people coming together, as one race, just hugging people. And this is why, we need to educate, each other as to, not pinpoint and just say, all cops are bad, because senseless killings is going on. And people, think, well, and the media is like, Black Lives Matter, terrorism, and people are trying to do a peaceful protest, we definitely have to educate those that are upset and that are mad, that all this thing, is saying like that. And that's why, is if we don't, we're going to have more killings like that, more senseless killings. I mean, a good positive thing about it is, we've seen like, gangs, rival gangs like the Bloods and the Crips are coming together, to put that stuff down and to make this world a better place, especially with the violence. But we have to teach those young, hot-headed individuals that are led by their emotions when they're upset, not to go around just killing senseless cops, and to do things the right way. That's why they have to be educated. Like I said, Hosea 44:6 says, my people shall perish for lack of knowledge. That's why they have to be taught. But again, no matter what's happening in your life, God knows, and God is there, and God is going to help you with it. That's why he said, my peace is not in you. And we know the joy of the Lord is your strength. I mean, don't worry about it. God's going to take care of it. If anybody's doing anything wrong, God's going to deal with it. God is the ultimate judge. You just do what you can do, and God do the rest, and it's okay to ask for, a need. And that's what God wants you to be able to come to him and just deal with. There's things I've asked God for. I'm just waiting for him to respond and what to do, but just definitely try to, be able to enjoy the moment. Just enjoy life. I mean, there's going to be times, like I said, life just hits you unexpectedly. You don't know how you're going to make it, and God has been there all the way. I mean, God is always, that's what it says, God is always with you. You can get through any situation, and that's why God allows us to go through some difficult times in our life to really show you who your real friends are, because in life sometimes, if we don't have those inventory checks, as I used to call it, when you see who your real friends are, you wouldn't be hanging around them. You say, this is not a real relationship. This is not a real friendship or anything like that, and that's where, God wants us at, and that's the thing, because there are good people that you can be around, and they don't want anything from you. Some people just want your company, and I just thank God for blessing me to be around, people like that. I've been with people and they just said, man, I just like being around you, man. It's just something about you, like, you're peaceful. I enjoy it. That's just a blessing because, I try to allow God to dwell inside me. And, so, but there are some people that I do meet that my spirit really just doesn't agree with. And I pray for them, you know. But then, that's why it says that we should be led by the Spirit. Galatians 5:24, be led by the Spirit. But I definitely thank God for discernment, and also too, if that's something that you need, just ask God for that and He'll strengthen it and show you. Not everybody is who they say they are, and I thank God for removing some people out of my life, because it just wasn't meant to be there, for a long period of time. Some people are seasonal people, and there are, again, some beautiful people. But if God has a season, you're supposed to learn something. That's all it's supposed to be. So just wanted to give you encouragement and know that this world is going to continue to go in the way it's to go, and God is being placed back where He's at. But there's going to be a lot of other senseless things that happens in the media, and they're going to portray it. That's why we have to teach and encourage each other, and share these positive videos. Like I'll be saying, like, we need more of this. Like, we got to share that, man. And one guy said, man, I didn't even know that this was on there. The media don't share all this. No, they're not going to share. They're going to share all this dramified. That's the word I use. It's not even a word, but all this dramified stuff. Stuff that creates hate and all that to get mad. That's what shows gets ratings. The same with reality TV shows. Maybe I'll get into that tomorrow, but just definitely we need to show more positive things. And then too, unfriend or unfollow people that keeps talking negative or anything like that, man. Because all it is it's not good for your spirit. But I'll talk to you tomorrow on that. God bless.